I've disposed of every girl in my weight class. It's time to be challenged again.
She whooped Alexis Davis. She whooped Catherine Nano. That type of excellence is what the world of boxing needs. It's going to be good for business only in America. Can I make this fight happen?
Don King called me with the idea about leaving the MMA and, fighting boys. I said, sign me up. You'll have your champion.
Scared? You asking the fair hurricane if he's scared? No, he ain't scared. He's in a period of mourning. Why is he in a period of mourning? Because he's gonna bury this poor child. He's gonna make her face real ugly real soon, Skip.
The ferret hurricane? He's a boxer? Oh, that's old school. Good for him.
She's going to stand in there. She's going to go toe-to-toe with that chump. She's going to fight for justice and equality. She's going to bring us unity only in America. Can this fight make a statement?
It's on! Let's get rowdy.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey in her first boxing bout, top sledding against the two-time champion, Georgie the Ferret Hurricane Pennington. Rousey wallops Pennington with the strength of 10 men, and it's over. Rousey has slain the Ferret Hurricane. This is the biggest disappointment in sports since the box score.
Start right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for Box Score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. The Danettes, of course, are in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, the NFL world is buzzing over Peyton Manning taking that pay cut to stay with the Broncos. McLovin, is it the Broncos needing Peyton, or does Peyton need the Broncos more?
Everyone has a different opinion here. For me, it's the Broncos need Peyton badly. I thought, actually, they were in no position to play hardball with him. I'm surprised they even got him to come down.
Do you think he did it kind of as a PR move? Because $4 million, like Stephen was saying, $4 million is not a blip in his day. It doesn't change one thing about his day.
Oh my God.
But he can say on the record, I did take less to help my team, technically.
Yeah.
So it's on the record he did. Even if it's $4 million for him is
What's he gonna spend it on? We've seen his place in Indianapolis. He owns it already. It's ridiculous. But
he's probably renting a little two-bedroom out in Denver.
Yeah, and he owns a home in New Orleans. Where is he gonna spend that money? I say that. It's easy for me to say, but $4 million.
I kind of feel like they both needed each other, actually, and they sort of realized that. Peyton was like, well, I don't really know. Can I go start over at a new team right now at this age? And then they were sort of like, well, who do we really have as a quarterback option? And maybe everybody sort of agreed that, well, maybe that's just a little too much money.
Yeah.
Do you think he just held up a picture of Brock Osweiler in the middle of the negotiation and said, look, man.
See the knee right? I got to believe there'd be a few teams that would be interested in Manning, even at the high price.
But would he be interested? As seeing boards out, would he be interested?
But ultimately, I got to believe the Broncos, they'll ultimately need him a lot more. For all they got Brock Osweiler, unless they got some big package deal plan to grab some other quarterback, and who would that even be? If Denver has a chance to get anywhere near the Super Bowl. And we've seen what Cutler did in the last time he was with Denver. They didn't exactly do so great.
Well, Paul, you haven't won an Emmy with the DP show. What if Mr. Emmy Bob Costas got on the line and did a daily show, wanted you to produce it, but wanted you to take a pay cut to do it? Would you do that?
Wait, all right. You're asking me if I would take a pay cut to work with Bob Costas? No.
To win an Emmy.
No, to win an Emmy? No. Emmys, it's a vague victory. It's not like a real competition.
Emmy doesn't pay your mortgage either.
All that being said, by the way.
That being said, I would love to work with Bob Costas because he's a legend, but I would not take a pay cut to do so.
I would love to get a little role. Can we do something? If Bob Costa had a show, that's a great point. We get, do 5 minutes of something, get, a credit somewhere. It's a key clip. And win that Emmy, baby.
Well, let me tell you something. Jed might be a millionaire because if you remember at the Super Bowl, I had Mr. Costas host one segment. So when he wins his sports Emmy for great host or whatever he did, that has to be in his reel. He hosted the Dan Patrick Show. You think I wasn't thinking about that? That we could glom on?
Do we have to pay for the trophy? What's the deal?
Possibly, but I think we could put it on the corporate card.
That is brilliant. We're going to win an Emmy this year, boys.
That's right. Mr. Costas is going to take us to the promised land.
Yeah, book it. Hey, Fritzy, if Peyton doesn't win a Super Bowl at Denver, has his time there been wasted?
I'm going to say yes. With the Elway bias aside, and and everything he accomplished in the back-to-back Super Bowls, Peyton was brought aboard to not just get them through deep into the playoffs, but to get
was
them
he
Super
playing
Bowl
defensive back against the Ravens on that?
No,
play?
that's true. That's true. It's a team game, but you can't put it all on Peyton. But ultimately, if the Broncos don't find a way to win a ring with Manning at quarterback, I think it was a failed.
So if you go back in time, would you keep Tebow?
I wouldn't have kept Tebow. I'm glad. I like the way everything played out. I don't have any issue with that. But as far as from a failure standpoint, once I heard as a Bronco fan that Peyton Manning's going to be the quarterback of the team, all I could think was, are they going to finally win another Super Bowl in the post-Elway era? And anything, all of us. But I tend to distance myself when things don't work out the last couple of years. But yeah, it's to me, when you're dealing with a team like the Broncos, who are right there every year, and someone like Peyton Manning, it's the Yankees have had to deal with that, and other great teams in different sports. It's Super Bowl or bust, and not just getting there and getting embarrassed against Seattle. You've got to win the Super Bowl, or else it was failed in Denver.
A thoughtful take by a very carb-depleted Fritzy. Another guy looking for a championship in another town is Josh Hamilton, and his skipper Mike Scioscia called in and talked about Josh Hamilton's struggles.
Josh he was supported to the nth degree in everything that he did here. Now, when the off season comes, obviously, there's he's back into his family life, and there are things that guys do in the off season that you're just not going to be able to be in tune with. You keep in touch with guys. You want them to know how they're doing in their workouts in the off season, but these guys are grown men. They're the real world, and I think every player has to be responsible and accountable to what his responsibility is to a team, and some guys do it for various reasons. Some guys don't work out as hard in the winter. Some guys, you have to. I think there's a lot on your plate that you need to track, but there's only so much you can.
Yeah, I handled all of the prep for this interview, and specifically the Josh Hamilton topic. And I'm surprised that the coach just didn't come flat out and just call him a quitter.
Wow.
Little rehab humor there. Anyone? Is this thing on? Hello? Anyone?
Paulie, what if one of you guys had some Hamilton-like struggles? Would DP step in there and be a father-like figure to you guys?
What do you mean, what if?
I'm not sure where to go here.
Hello?
No, I think if one of us had struggles, Dan doesn't have, 25 to 40 guys on a baseball team. Dan has 4 guys here, a couple guys in the back. I think if one of us had any troubles, he would notice it pretty quickly if we weren't showing up for work or doing our job differently. And he would, I think, knowing Dan and his family history, I think he would attack the problem and not let it go.
Now, he's pretty open. He's an ear you could talk to as a friend about things that you have going on in your life, and he's pretty willing to help you out with a whole array of things. So he does put on this sort of friend hat once in a while and sort of like father figure guy, and not just the boss.
Fritzy, have you talked to him about your struggles regarding chicken parms?
I think he's well aware, or he should be well aware, that I've been over the past month with the Nutrisystem deals trying to fight hunger and cravings and all that. And then I have people on Twitter who think they're being cute, or I don't know how it's helpful, but they're sending me pictures of little mini hot dogs and pepperoni pizza and Chinese food and all my favorite foods. So, but as far as Dan, he's always very supportive. And if one of us had any kind of problem, whether it was anything from overeating to drug or alcohol abuse or family issues, whatever it would be, he would be there for us. Granted, he'd want to make sure that we were doing our part in trying to get better or improve, because he does have a business to run, and it's a very small staff, and he wants to make sure the show is as strong as possible every day, and we can't bring it down because of what's going on in our personal lives. But ultimately, Dan is a caring person, and there's no way he wouldn't be there for any of us in a time of need. So.
That's why he's the best. Okay, coming up, things are going to get rowdy here on the Box Score. Of course they are. This is the Box Score, and it is powered by Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Every truck can tow a boat, every truck can climb a hill, every truck can haul a trailer. But not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. The Box Score presents great moments in DP Show history.
Time to go to bed.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History. Welcome back to the Box Score. Seaton, recently you were on Jamie Jost's podcast and talked about that Jay Glazer beatdown. Is that one of the worst beatings you've ever had in your life?
Well, no, I'm not going to say it was one of the worst beatings I've had in my life. I've gotten beaten up much worse than that. But it was the only time that I could say, like, I had literally no control over what was going to happen there. He just sort of threw me around. Right from the minute we got in the ring and I took like 3 steps towards him, Jay just kicked me in the leg and knocked me over. And then there was just nothing I could do anymore after that. He was just completely in control. Like I am like with my son. I could just pick him up and, oh, look at you. Like he can't help it. It's exactly what I felt
Did Jay
like.
teach any moves before or give you any advice?
None.
Did anybody?
He walked in, looked at me, and he's like, hey, expletive, give me a couple minutes. And he warmed up, and he was warming up. He had Chuck Liddell with him, which was awesome. And he was like, he was warming up, and he was hitting these pads, and the sound of it was like a bat cracking, like wha-bang! And I was like, oh my God, wha-bang! And like he's just warming up. I'm like, what am I doing right now? It's no reason to be doing this.
Well, MMA champion Ronda Rousey called in today and talked about handling Kat Zingano the way maybe Glazer handled Seaton.
Did you want to win in 14 seconds?
14 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to win with maximal efficiency and minimum effort. People forget, though, the shorter the fights are, the more fights that I can have. And so I feel like I'm actually making my career longer this way. And the less punishment I take, the longer I can do this. So I was happy to come out unscathed and not let anyone hit me in front of my mother.
Yeah, that was a great clip. I thought it was really interesting. She did sound a little tired. Was it just me, or maybe she was out the night before?
I have no doubt that she woke up within 3 minutes of getting on the phone with us. And
told us that.
I think she might have just gone out for a nice dinner and drinks and whatever. I think, what time was that? 8 a.m. her time?
Yeah.
Don't elite athletes wake up at 5 a.m. with a crack of sunlight?
I guess
and train?
Rocky is a movie. She's crushing people. What is she getting up early for? She's the champ, like she said.
I know. It does sound like, though, I don't know, lack of intensity.
I respect her more. If she went out and pounded some drinks last night and then she's getting up to do a quick interview and going back to the sack, that's what a champion should do.
She said that she trained for 8 weeks, though, which doesn't seem like a very long time.
Right.
She's like, what do you mean? I trained for 8 weeks for this. Like,
Britney's
that's it?
Britney's been training for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
they're supposed
it?
to go for like almost a whole year for like a boxing match, right? They train like
weeks?
10, 11 months.
Yeah. Come on, almost whole 2 months.
McLovin, if the 4 of you assembled as a team, could you guys last 1 round with Rousey?
No way. Well, she's got to get us in that armbar thing, or even threaten it, or tell us she's about to go armbar, at which point I'd tap out.
At least 2 of us would go out immediately with the armbar.
In all seriousness, let's say she said, I'm going to give you guys pads and the things they use and the little shorts, and we got in the ring. What would our actual strategy be?
So would we all come from different directions?
That's a great point.
Gotta do that.
Or do we all have to come from the same direction? Like one corner, and that's it?
My thought was someone has to take one for the team. Someone has to go in kamikaze.
First person there's going down.
Right, and they're going to get crushed. But they hopefully can, she's got to engage them for 7 to 8 seconds, and someone else
I'll be that guy.
Right.
I'll take the fall.
Okay.
I'll run out there, try to distract her enough
You'll be
to let you
unconscious?
guys sort of get on top. Yeah.
Could one of us get like a side punching while she's dealing with the other 3? That would be hard enough to.
Well, you got the biggest muscles. You think an uppercut from you would hurt an MMA fighter?
I'd like to think I could briefly daze her, not knock her out. But if she's dealing with all 3, and all of a sudden I come in from the side, maybe we'd kind of mess her up a little bit where we could do
that feeling
something.
when you get popped in the nose and you're like, ugh, like that whole it's definitely bleeding.
And that's what
like
dudes
it's
at a
broke
bar.
kind of thing.
And that's what dudes
just
at a
like
bar.
a random person at a bar.
Right.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, great, my nose is broken.
She's the toughest
What
woman.
is that like when it's her knee?
Yeah. Well, unbelievable. She'd crush us in 45 seconds.
We outweigh her by 700.
Pulling hair out of Fritzy's chest.
That's not really going to make
Hey, DP asked Rousey how she was on a date. Fritzy, do you think you could go out with a guy like Rousey?
I think I could. She's you don't want to piss her off or anything, and I would probably be like extra polite and extra nice, not to say anything that she would take the wrong way. I do like to, and my wife can attest to that. I'll make little comments about other women or flirt a little bit out of my own insecurity, and I don't think you could probably pull that off with Ronda if she saw you like looking at another girl or making some kind of comment about someone else who may be attractive at another end of the restaurant or wherever you are. I think she would destroy you at that point. So that would be the only thing I'd be uncomfortable about that. I would be afraid to say something that would make her just like lose it on me.
What is the flirting insecurity angle?
I think sometimes I'll, make comments around my wife and say, what do you think of her or whatever like that. Partly out of a fantasy for a threesome, partly out of just, I think it's just some insecure need to kind of stir something up to see if she'll get jealous to make sure that she still feels as.
Do you think she enjoys when you do that?
I don't think she does.
You don't think so, or you know she
I'm quite
does?
sure she's made it very clear that she
No,
doesn't
I'm being
appreciate
serious.
that.
Now, if she did it to you, said, man, that guy's got a great ass, I wonder what he's packing.
I would hate that a lot. I would find that very, very disturbing.
I would
kind of be into it.
I would.
What?
Hello?
I would hate if anybody said, I wonder what he's packing next. Right. I'm not very comfortable with.
Exactly, that's the point.
It's not very feminine speech.
You're not even dating Fritzy in any way, much less married to him.
Yeah.
You weren't comfortable with that.
If my sister said that about someone, I'd be like, that's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, let me get my hands on that guy.
How do we get to that topic? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, that's a wrap on threesomes. Don't go away. McLovin doesn't have the lamest name in sports after all. We'll tell you who trumps him. Welcome back to the Box Score, guys. There's some pretty out there names on the show. We got McLovin, Seaton, Fritzy, Two-A-Days, Pauly. Not Pauly, maybe not so much on Pauly, but how do your names stack up to the great names in sports? I'm going to give you a test and see if you know some of the more unfortunate names out there in athletics. I will give you an athlete's name. You tell me if he is real or not. It is row versus row, and steelsies are for realsies. The first one is for the front row. The name is Dick Felt. Dick Felt, real athlete or not?
That is not a...
Dick?
Oh, wait, is this us?
That's you.
Dick Felt is absolutely a real athlete.
Really? Richard Felt?
I'm thinking Pirates pitcher, but I don't know. Do I have to name the sport, Broccoli?
No, that's all right.
I'm saying real, and I think he's a Pirates pitcher from the 50s, but I don't know specifically.
Pitcher, catcher, doesn't matter. Dick Felt was a two-time Pro Bowler for the Patriots in the 60s.
What? Dick Felt.
Richard Felt.
Richard.
Oh, 24, too.
Good old number.
Felt, yeah. Back row.
W. Felt.
Dean Windass. Dean Windass, real athlete or not?
That can't be. I have a very difficult time saying Windass was a real person.
Is it hyphenated?
Windass down the sideline. He's taking it to the 45.
Is it hyphenated?
Windass cuts back. Midfield.
He's the captain of Breaking Wind.
The 2-2 to Windass.
I don't know. Like, what kind of sick
Just
person would
outside
make
on
up that
Windass.
name, though? You want to go fake? Let's go.
Dean Windass.
Can we steal? I'm gonna say it's real. And he's a hockey player.
Well, I don't think you can steal in a real or not real game, but.
Well, we said steals are for real, so yeah, the front row gets us. It's former soccer player. He was a 19-year career with stops
Windass?
at Bradford
Pierre
City
Windass.
and Hull City.
saw his name
So we
playing
should
FIFA.
challenge every time.
Yeah, I guess.
Windass.
Yeah, I saw his name on.
No, there's no challenges because if the first team gets it wrong, then obviously the second team gets it right.
Yeah, but you didn't get... We jumped in with the steal.
Brock's in
All
charge
right.
of the rules.
Front
We have
row.
real or not real, it's a black and white.
Front row,
It's not
yes.
black and white. It's real or unreal.
Yeah, Ron
It's a yes or no,
Tugnut.
true or
Dean
false.
Windass
It's kind
is
of a
white.
weak
He's very white. He's
stealing
not
for
black.
something that's
whatever.
50-50.
Sorry, Brock.
Front row, Ron Tugnut. Real or not?
Oh, that's absolutely...
Great hockey goalie.
You're absolutely right. Played for 8 NHL teams from 87 to 2004.
By the way, has anybody noticed this so far? It's gone real.
I know.
That's
Ooh,
unprecedented.
is everyone going to be real?
Wow,
There's no way
okay.
this
For
one's
the
real.
back
His
row,
old nickname was Tugnut.
And
you're
Windass.
is this Chubby Cox? Chubby Cox, real or not?
They called him Girth.
C-O-X or C-O-C-K-S?
His nickname was Girth.
They can't go real.
Roosevelt leaks.
He's red in the face. It's Chubby Cox. He's upset.
It's going to end up being some boxer from
Go
1920.
fake.
Chubby Cox.
Let's go fake. Just
All
be
right,
the way to
we're not
show it.
buying into Chubby Cox.
Fake. Why wouldn't you buy into Chubby Cox? I'm sorry. He is a former NBA player. Played for the Washington Bullets in the early 80s.
Are you kidding?
And is
Amazing!
Kobe
Chubby
Bryant's
Cox.
uncle.
You got to be kidding
Chubby
me.
Cox.
Yeah. You got
All
some
right.
play.
Front row,
God.
Steve Sharts. Real or not?
Yeah, I wish I was named Steve Sharts. I would laugh every time I looked in the mirror.
Be an interesting bobblehead doll.
Steve Sharks.
Steve Sharks all over us.
Right? He's all out there on the mound.
I'm going to say, unfortunately,
Sharks
no.
leans in for the-
I'm going to say no, but disappointingly no.
Yeah, disappointingly no. Steve
ERA of
Sharks.
60.
All right, well, he is actually a former minor league baseball player drafted by the Phillies.
Great.
Oh.
No way.
Steve Sharks.
Get him on the show tomorrow.
That's
Steve
so great.
Sharks.
Awesome.
Steve Sharks.
I'll give you $1,000 for that card.
A good-looking fella.
He's giving up a lot of late leads.
Handsome. You should see Mrs. Sharts. And finally,
It's actually Chartes.
back row and the little Sharts. The name is Buzz Nutter. Real or not? Buzz Nutter.
It's some kind of.
They're not going to go real,
I know, it sounds like
real
some kind of
fake.
Keebler snack.
This would be an all-timer by them producing wise.
Yeah, it'd be like the first actual.
Well, actually, though, it makes sense, though, because it's like too lazy to come up with fake ones. Let's just go all real.
Yeah, let's go real. I
You're gonna
agree.
really Buzz Nutter?
Graphics
No,
guys
the
aren't gonna.
graphics guys, like,
snack.
they're going to sit there. No, they're too lazy. I'd say real.
Yeah, they are
He
lazy
said
and it is
real.
real.
I'll go along with him.
Former football player,
Yeah,
11-year
same.
career split between the Colts and the Steelers.
Buzz
in the
Nutter.
50s and
Look at
60s.
that.
Yeah,
Buzz Nutter. And the winning row is
That's ridiculous.
the front row.
Oh.
Congratulations
Can't believe
to the
every single
Sharks,
one
the
of
Steve
Nutters,
Sharks.
and everyone out
Love you,
there.
Sharty.
We gotta get that jersey. We absolutely need Sharks in the man cave.
Well, at the
Please
budget.
book
It's
Steve
crazy.
Sharks, please. All right, stick around. Fritzy, it's cold outside. I really must go. This is the box score, and we're taking a break and remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Guts, glory, Ram.
She could go like this and kick me in the balls as I run in, because I'm going to be going like this.
This
and she kicks me
website-
in the balls.
Players
Yeah,
whose
but there are
name
four
was
of
a
us. She's got to jump on top of somebody at some point, and both their hands are going to be occupied with that person. So she's sitting there on top of somebody. Her head, her entire back is completely.
Right.
Somebody grabs her head, and someone starts kicking her in the kidneys really hard.
They have a website, and the name of the article that it's talking about Steve Sharts was "Player whose name was a sentence." Steve Sharts.
That's awesome. Let's get him on the show tomorrow.
At the very least, I'm buying this baseball card and sending it to my brother.
Call Mitchell and Ness, see if
getting
they'll
one
fire you one up.
here. Steve Sharts.
Yes, Steve Sharks.
There he is, Clearwater, in a Phillies cap. $13. You could get yourself a Steve Sharts.
That's the best $13 you ever spent. You spent $13 at lunch. Can you make some calls and see if
Steve Sharts, player whose name was a sentence.
That's awesome. Yeah,
We're
no, I know what
closing
you're
up
talking
shop
about.
here in the box score. Myself, Steve Sharts, and the rest of the crew, Dean Windass. McLovin, you were stuck in Connecticut last night because of some pretty intense snowfall. What would Dan's reaction be if you were to ask him to stay at his place?
Oh, I know it by heart. No, you can't. This is not some, like, what am I imagining it would be like? I know it from years of experience. Hey, DP, can I crash over your place? No.
Yeah.
And I know and I don't even really want to. I just like asking him just so he could say no.
Dude's got plenty of room over there by the fireplace, but he'll bring you over a blanket to sleep here.
Right.
Like, he'll bring you over and, like, here,
Yeah.
it might get cold here. Here's a blanket for you, but I'm going home.
And he doesn't even have kids at his house anymore. His house is
he's
quite
got
empty.
Plenty of room.
That's
plenty
true.
Of room
There
for the
are
whole,
many
whole
bedrooms.
crew.
Literally,
And,
every one of us could have their own bedroom in his house comfortably.
And not even a twin, like
Oh.
something nice.
Full
something
spread.
nice.
I could just move in and live with Dan. Like, I wouldn't have to commute.
What if
I
you
could
drove
bring
up
a family.
What if you drove up during the segment and walked in? And, no, I'm just telling you, no. He just came in the door.
God, can you imagine how little Dan would enjoy having one of us?
He would be miserable. He would be miserable.
It's like when you get on a plane and you're sitting next to Dan. It's his
staring
worst
at the
That's
nightmare.
like 2 hours, 3 hours.
That's his worst nightmare, let alone
When
the
is it
whole
going to
night.
be morning already?
Well, there's a winter weather advisory, as you guys know, there in Milford, and there's a very real possibility that you guys will be stuck in there and won't be able to get to New York City for the show tomorrow. If that's the case, I'm sure you're claiming sleeping spots, and that'll be an issue. So since the front row won the last segment, I will let you claim your sleeping spots in the Milford Man Cave right now. You get first draft.
Beautiful.
Front row, we get to choose.
Well, I'm usually, from all the times that I have slept here, I usually sleep in the green room where there's a TV and the lazy boy.
So
can
That's a
kick
good. That's a
back,
good spot.
See,
Watch a little TV, fall asleep
call.
there. That's where I usually.
I'll let
crash.
Steven have the couch. I'll take the recliner. Slept in recliner many times in the back where we got the TV and a fridge.
Yeah, that's the spot.
We got it.
All right, back row, you can clean it up. What do you got?
Well, there's a
that works.
sofa bed. I'm
You
not
guys can
sleeping
curl
with
around
Todd.
here.
I'd rather sit at my desk and pretend to work all night than sleep with Todd, or sleep on the golf simulator.
Yeah, I'd have my eye on that couch, and then I could put all the different
that wood floor looks
questionable
attractive.
programming on the 3 TVs there.
The rats running over your head.
All right, well, hopefully if someone has four-wheel
like to
drive,
Steve
you can get out
Sharks
of
over
it. All right, Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
We're going to have Adam Carolla, actor, producer, director, comedian in studio in the New York City Man Cave. And Al Michaels will join us as well, talk some football, even a little boxing, as primetime boxing comes to NBC on Saturday night.
Maybe Carolla brings in some Mangria.
That is an actual debut, as opposed to the Odd Couple show, which is now in its third episode.
Third episode in, okay.
Debut for NBC.
Thank you, guys, and thanks for watching The Box Score. We are back tomorrow on Audience Channel 239 right here on DirecTV. The podcast is also available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Take care.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!